What's up, guys? We are back with another episode of Fairy Tail's final season, and just to preface, I try not to curse in my episodes for the reaction videos, because I try to keep it family friendly, and it's, you know, if it's live or something, and I'm around people who I know are alright with me cursing and things, I will curse on occasion. But I managed not to, but I was so close to cursing at this T-pun guy in this episode, because I don't like puns to begin with. And this guy's, I will, brutal torture will, oh God, brutal torture will certainty, oh God. So let's get started with the episode. So this episode was definitely more than I expected, which is good because I was expecting a lot out of the first 3 episodes and didn't get a whole lot, so I kind of lowered my expectations for this episode, and then it blew those expectations out of the water. Which maybe, maybe the writers are a little more clever than I thought, or knew that that's what I was kind of getting at, or what most viewers would be kind of feeling at that point. Whether that's the case or not, and they knew that we were going to be bored by episode 3, or if they thought that, maybe this is just good pacing, which it is good pacing. Maybe whatever they thought, this was a great episode. So we started right back where we were with them getting to the, church in the woods where Avatar was, and so Natsu was gonna, take it by storm, which, thank you for everybody who reminded me that Plan T was take it by storm. But they were gonna take it by storm, and Lucy said, well, why don't we just use Virgo to, tunnel in? And Virgo shows up, and she's bound up because she was punishing herself, because she had time to kill. So they tunnel in, and they're trying to be covert, and Natsu just shouts as loud as he can to get Gray's attention, to try to get him to come fight him. And that pretty much lets everyone know that he's there, that they're all there. And yeah, so they all show up. Well, the first guy to show up is the little kid with the, torture doll. And, oh, yeah, so I was worried at the beginning of this episode, and actually earlier on, that Natsu was going to be way too powerful for these guys. And he pretty much was, actually. He was way too powerful for these guys. Takes out the kid in one punch. Takes out, well, so he had to dodge a bunch of stuff from Captain T-puns, and he had to dodge a bunch of stuff from him, and then gets trapped in an Iron Maiden that he promptly melts after more god-awful T-puns. Oh, I hated that guy. So he melts that, punches the dude in the face, and that's the end of that. And he also took out the one, what was the guy's name? I forget his name. The one with the numbers for names. And takes him out real fast, like 3 down, easy. Then Gray shows up, and I don't know if Gray, from being in this dark cult and also training with Juvia, I don't know if he is now on par with Natsu in terms of power, or if it's just the way that he, like, Natsu was pulling his punches because he was fighting Gray, or what the deal was. But yeah, it was weird, because I would have expected Natsu to be super overpowered in any aspect, and he and Gray have always been pretty close when it comes to their strength, but seeing the fact that Natsu in previous episodes was able to burn the sides of mountains down, I don't know how powerful Gray is, but I'm wondering if, because of his ability, because of his, Ice Demon Slayer abilities, if he's now, like his dad, able to, like, freeze an entire village. But yeah, I don't know. It was weird to see, because I would have half expected Gray to be a little behind, but he's not. So, cool. But he, like, says he completely removed his guild mark, and he was saying how he, it's in the past, and Lucy slaps him, and he's like, I don't believe that, come back, we're still a family, and all that stuff. And I was so confused, because there was a point in this episode where it cuts to Gajiel and Panther Lily and Levy was the one letting the council know. So I was completely thrown off at this point, because Levy was the mole inside the guild, or inside the cult, who let the council know what the cult was up to. So I'm thinking, okay, Gray isn't actually the undercover guy, it's Levy. So now what are we going to do about Gray? What's his deal, actually? And so that completely threw me off. But we find out later some more information that I wasn't aware of. But yeah, so essentially Levy comes back, and everybody in that kind of group is just ready to take the whole cult down. And it was kind of funny the way that Gajiel is like now taking this job very seriously, because he's probably got one of the better overall arcs of like a redeemed character, because he went from, you know, being straight up evil to the shady character to not so shady, actually has a bit of a personality, to a really good, fun, friendly character, to this, like, full-on law enforcement. Like, I like him. I've always loved Gajiel as a character, and this definitely solidified that for me. And we really haven't gotten too far into what his deal is, other than, like, he's going to arrest people in the cult. And even with just that little bit of, like, seeing how he is compared to how he was, and seeing that some of the stuff hasn't changed, I like that. So I'll have to wait and see more of him. But yeah, I like it so far. Anyway, so there's just a bit of a moment where, you know, Gray is, I guess, distracting them. Just enough that Lucy, the one little girl who says LOL, Mary, I think was her name, uses whatever magic she has to incapacitate Lucy, followed by the Captain T-Pun's wrapping Natsu and Virgo and Happy in chains. Or no, Natsu and Virgo in chains where they can't use magic, and then the little doll thing was used to incapacitate Happy and slam him against the ground a couple times, which was funny. So they capture them, and oh man, so T-Pun guy is about to torture them, and oh god, I was just his whole interaction, I was ready to just curse. This point was where, like, early on I was ready to curse at him, and then this just made it worse. So, all of that, I hate him so much. Which is why it was so refreshing to see Gray freeze him solid when he was about to cut Lucy in half, because he was going to torture Lucy. And of course, there's our little bit of BDSM fan service for the episode. And yeah, he was going to, you know, torture Lucy. He gets frozen by Gray. Gray reveals the fact that he was undercover, which they have smartphones now. Like, he was holding like an iPhone 10 Lacrima. I don't know what it was, but it was kind of cool that he had like this, you know, he's like, just hold it up to your ear. And he still had his guild mark. It was actually underneath of the, it was just underneath of his weird demon shroud thing. But yeah, so he was not evil, but now my question is, what was he doing if Levy was the one informing the council? Because we see that Gray was working with Urza, but with him working with Urza, I don't know what they were up to. So it's like, are there two different forces, like two different groups kind of working, not against, but towards the same goal, but not on the same team? Or what? I don't really know, because I know there were certain elements, and it's been a long time, there were certain elements of this that I remember because I had talked with a couple people about like different parts of the manga when it was coming out, and there I was like, be vague because I want to actually react to this. But this was something that never came up, so I'm kind of like, I think most of the stuff that came up was stuff that I've either not seen yet or stuff that I've probably forgotten. But yeah, so I don't know what's going on, but Urza's back. Gray's not evil. We're going to see, apparently in next episode, Juvia fighting or something. I don't know. Also, we had a moment with Wendy, who was still, you know, taking care of and looking after Juvia because she was sick. And she goes to dry her off because she's sweating so much, I guess. And yeah, pulls her shirt off, and poor Wendy is the eternal lolly of the series, which is kind of funny. At least she has a lolly friend in Carla who can now turn into a Nekapara lolly, so there is that. But yeah, those are words that I never really cared to say. But then again, there's also Konako in High School DxD, also voiced by the same voice actors if you watch the High School DxD dub, which is kind of funny. But Konako in High School DxD makes much funnier puns that I can actually tolerate, so there is that. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying, this episode was a really great episode. Like I was saying earlier, with my standards had been kind of lowered just because the first episode was really good, second episode was not too bad, third episode was still also good, but just nothing too crazy, and then this episode blew it out of the water. So kudos, I was impressed, I was very happy with this episode, and I can't wait to see more. Looks like things are really picking up with them fighting Avatar, which means that especially considering how much of this has actually escalated. I think Natsu, Lucy, and Happy are really saving Rogue a lot of time, and if I were them, I would have, been completely happy with them taking my job, because I still get the reward and I don't have to fight these super crazy cultists. So overall, great episode. I really enjoyed it. If you guys want to go watch it, go watch it. They've been posting on YouTube just fine. I say that now. Knock on wood, I really hope that it stays that way, just because I don't want to have to deal with my channel getting taken down. But they've been posting on YouTube just fine, so go find it on YouTube if you can. If you can't, link in the description. Actually, I can use the little the little info thing there, so go click on that, and that'll be where the video is. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. As always, please make sure to leave a comment and all of that fun stuff, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Make sure to be there, and have a good one.